अभी आपको इधर कौन था? इधर
তারপরে কি চ্যাটিং এটা বন্ধ করে দিয়েছে চ্যাটে যে বলে দেবো
some of the teachers they have kept their audio on. You please switch it off, switch off your audio. Some of the teachers, you please switch off your audio. And there was some technological disturbance, sorry for that.
पागल है तो की करोगे?
पता नहीं कि एक दिन के हाँ हम लोग 25,000 पहले समझ गए लेकिन 50,000 का एक दिन
না না হিন্দিতে কথা বলছে হিন্দিতে কথা বলছে রে বাবা
हाँ
मैं झगड़ा
4 दिन का लेकिन होता नहीं है 2 दिन का हुआ है 2 दिन का हुआ है 4 दिन के एगो रैली किया था
না হতো মোটা করে যে আছে ও তো ভালো
ও ভালো লম্বা করে ওটা না ও
অজিত স্যার চলে গেছে না হঠাৎ এরা কেউ সামলাতে পারছে না আস্তে আস্তে এগুলো বন্ধ হয়ে গেল ও অজিতকে বার করে দিয়েছে
So there were some technological problem. Please, all of you, it's my request to you, please switch off your audio. It is disturbing a lot. Now, once again, we are continuing. Sorry for the interruption. Now you see, we were talking about the benefits of multilingual. First of all, as we have discussed the cognitive development in terms of in the field of executive function, definitely it will be an added advantage if you know more than one language. While you are holding some of the prestigious posts, their using of different languages will be an added advantage for you. Now, here you see very important point here. It has been discussed, understanding of other world cultures. Suppose if you know the language of Spain, I mean that Spanish language, definitely it will be quite convenient for you, quite easier for you to get acquainted with the culture of Spain, their way of living. You can go through their novels and all these things like that. You can collect so many informations. Then here you see enhanced connection to heritage cultures. Here that heritage cultures means, as India, as we all know, it's a multilingual country. So here we must show equal importance and equal respect to each and every language. I must not feel that my language is only the richest language of all. We must have an equal sympathy towards almost all the languages. And considering all these things, Hindi has already been accepted as the state language. There are so many languages. Then why Hindi? Anyhow, in our country, most of the inhabitants we speak in Hindi, and most of the inhabitants of our country, they are Hindi spoken people. So it does not mean that the people those who are using other languages, clear no, they will be getting the less importance in the society. It is not like that. So equal sympathy, equal importance should be given. Now you see, in the field of education, actually, soon after the completion of your education, whenever we are entering into the formation of our career, clear no, there definitely the acquaintance of multi-language, definitely it will be an added advantage in your career. And nowadays, you know that the air hostess, clear, several girls they are opting for becoming air hostess. There, it is not always right that only you should know English and Hindi. In addition to that, the demand for other languages, foreign languages, or some other languages, so that the air hostess can easily communicate with different passengers coming from different language background. So that is the thing. In the field of education also, here they have clearly mentioned, you see, comparable of or higher academic achievements of students in dual language. Dual language means not in English, not in Hindi, any two languages, dual languages program as compared to student in English only program. Suppose you are quite fluent in English, but you don't know Hindi, you don't know other languages, you are not quite confident of using other languages. So it will be treated as a demerit, not as a merit on behalf of your career. Now here you see that multilingual using of multi-language in classroom, it also improves learning outcomes in various subjects. In different subjects can be learned by using different kinds of languages. Here you see, in the field of economy also, a greater job opportunities. A candidate who knows more than one language, definitely he will be getting greater job opportunities in multiple public or private sectors. Then here you see, but bilingualism. Bilingualism means where we are using two languages. Bilingualism raises occupational status and earning potential. I'm also agree with it. Definitely, if you are quite confident of using more than two languages, it will be an added advantage. Many times I have told, and that will lead to raise your occupational status. Maybe you get a nice promotion as you are quite confident of using different kinds of languages, and at the same time you can handle with different kinds of people coming from different languages background. So that is the thing. Now, language skills are in high demand for employment with federal and state governments. Here nowadays, the demand for knowing more than one language, it is gradually increasing day by day. Earlier, kya hota tha? Earlier, a man who was well acquainted with Hindi or English, clear no. But nowadays, what is happening, in addition to Hindi and English, there is a need amongst the new learners, amongst the youngsters, and there is a demand also, clear no, in our country as well as in abroad, for the candidates who know more than one language. Now, let us, so I think you have, there are a lot of benefits. There are a lot of benefits of multilingualism. Now, here you see, here, the role of teacher, the most important point here, the role of a teacher while he is using multi-language inside the classroom. It is the role of the teacher how to make the teaching learning process more interesting, more effective by using different kinds of languages. Here, a teacher has to be benevolent, tolerant, and good observer in multilingual classroom. You have to maintain your tolerance. You should not be angry whenever the students are speaking or they are just trying to learn some other languages. You must be benevolent, you must be tolerant and good observer, the way they are learning. Teacher has to identify the common medium of teaching learning instructions of the learner. As for example, here we are using mostly the English languages while we are delivering our lessons inside the classroom. Now, a teacher in a multilingual classroom can arrange storytelling sessions to have spontaneous code mixing. We may ask students from different language background to say or to share some stories in his or her language inside the classroom. So like that, at that time, the teacher should be very careful and the teacher should be given chances to those students who are quite interested to tell some stories. Then teacher can also conduct the debate for the students who will deliver their speech in their own language. Suppose you are from South, so you can deliver the debate or you can participate in that debate competition using the Hindi language, as you feel that you can express your feelings more conveniently, rather than English in Hindi. So that is the thing. Now, this point has already been discussed that we the teachers should use multilingualism as a resource inside the classroom. So when we are using and it like that, considering the fact here they are given, you see, according to the National Curriculum Framework 2005, the multilingual characteristics of Indian society should be seen as a resource to promote multilingual proficiency in every child, so that each and every child, they can adopt, they can learn more than one languages. Considering that fact, in the year 2005, National Curriculum Framework was set up. Then here, different language of different students will be used creativity in the classroom. Whenever a student, a Hindi medium student will be using English or Bengali in his discussion, definitely he will get a chance to use his creativity in learning. Then students will learn about rules of different languages that will help to sharpen their skills of observing, reducing and reasoning, and also enhancing their linguistic and cognitive faculty. I can say in my case, in addition to Bengali and Hindi, I have learned a lot of things in Hindi and I have got my fluency in Hindi also. Not that much good like the Hindi spoken people, but still I can make the students understand by using Hindi, that what I mean to say actually. So it totally depends upon the teachers, the way he is taking the thing, the way he is taking the thing, the way he is using multi-languages inside the classroom. Now, these are the ultimately, actually, what it is also the same using multilingualism in the classroom. So now the challenges we are facing, definitely whenever we are going to execute anything, we have to face a lot of challenges first. So the challenges we are facing here, you see, here, multilingual in classroom teaching and learning challenges. India, as I discussed earlier also, that is a land of linguistic diversity. Multilingualism is a norm. It is quite certain that here the people of different languages they live, and definitely there will be uses of multi languages. This multilingual situation has led to children speaking different languages in the school context. In the school context, the children, as we are using multilingualism, the children, there are also different kinds of languages in the school context. School uses language without taking into consideration the native language of the child. Native language of the child, for some of the child, his native language may be Hindi, for some of the child may be Bengali, for some of the child may be Telugu, like that. Then, here, attitude of teachers towards multilingualism is not always positive. That is the thing I told earlier also, that everything depends upon the teacher. If we take anything in a positive way, then we can deliver the topic in a positive way inside the classroom using different kinds of languages. But in most of the cases, what happens, here you see the attitude of teachers towards multilingualism is not always positive. It is not always positive. Now, teachers need to have positive attitude towards multilingualism. The same thing. We must first set up our mind. We must build up our mind with a positive attitude that I must use different kinds of languages inside the classroom to make the teaching learning process quite effective. Multilingualism results in good academics gains. It has been proved that in addition to English, Hindi, if we use some other languages with which the students are quite confident, then definitely that teaching learning process can be made quite interesting. It can be made quite effective or efficient. Now you see here, multilingualism results in good academic gains if, here the condition they have given, if considered as a source, if we take it, consider it as a source rather than a hindrances. Hindrances means जो problem create करता है. If always we think that using of different kinds of languages inside the classroom, it will create a problem. So definitely it will create a problem because our mind have been set up in that angle in a negative way. We are unable. There is no word like unable. We have to develop that ability to use different kinds of languages inside of the classroom. But in real, what is happening, most of the teachers, and sometimes we are also not showing that much interest in using multi-languages inside the classroom. Here you see specific strategies to use multilingual context as a resource in the classroom. You see, first of all, the teacher should promote interest among the students to learn the language of other students. Whenever we should not insult any other languages. Suppose my mother tongue is Bengali. If I feel that Hindi spoken people, it is the worst language of all, I must not have that sort of feelings into my mind being a teacher. All languages have their own importance. Then you see here, get materials, newspapers or journals of languages spoken by the students. It must be provided, and that initiative must be taken by the teachers. Then appreciate the answers given in a regional language or mother tongue, even in an English medium class. Though the school is an English medium school, but still, if any student, at the time, suppose you have asked some question to a student in English. If he responds to that question in Hindi, I must not be annoyed with the student. I must gladly accept it and I must appreciate the students for that correct answer. Then take care not to look down upon students not using language of power. Suppose this is an English medium school. If you always force the students clear no that you have to speak, definitely that is a good thing in order to bring up the fluency skill of English, which is in a great demand nowadays, fluency in English. But in spite of that, for the mediocre students, for the average students, clear no, we should encourage or we should inspire the student to speak in his mother tongue or in the regional languages like that. Now you see, appreciate the writing of varied types like scientific fiction, civics, tips, poems, stories using their own languages. Inside the classroom, we can create that kind of situation that, okay, students, tomorrow you can use your own language and you can write one poem or some stories by using your own language. In that way, we can use multi-language, or we can use the multilingualism as a resource inside our classroom. Now, you see, the characteristics of a multilingual classroom. यहाँ पे क्या होता है? Here, actually, in a multilingual classroom, different students from different background, different language backgrounds are they join in that. In the first point, it is a multilingual classroom is formed by learners of various ethnic groups of social sections. Then various intonations are seen in a multilingual classroom. Definitely, it will have various intonations, various accent. Clear no? The way we the Bengali people speak Hindi, definitely the Hindi speaking people, they will speak much more better than us. Clear no? That is the thing. Now, different languages and bodily gestures are used. As I told, that language is not a bar. Whenever we are talking about other language, we can make it make the students understand that thing by using different kinds of body language and gestures. Now we are coming to the concluding part. You see possibilities. There are so many possibilities are there. Clear no? In a multilingual classroom. Multilingual classroom creates language curiosity among the learners, but it depends upon the teacher. Whether the students take it in a positive way or negative way, it totally depends upon the teachers. It paves the path for national and international integration. Clear no? That unity based on language, linguistic diversity. In spite of linguistic diversity, we can create a sense of unity amongst us. Clear no? Those who are speaking different kinds of languages. It brings tolerance and respect for the nation and for the people of the country. Tolerance to other language, then respect for others' language, and thus a sense of unity may grow amongst us. Multilingual classroom is the real workshop for international knowledge. We can get a chance to acquire more international knowledge, clear no, by using that multilingual classroom. Then need already for your personal growth, knowing of multi-language is essential. It increases vocabulary and effectiveness of speech. Then broadens employment opportunities. It has also been discussed. Then abroad study. If you want to go abroad for higher studies and you know more than one languages and languages of that particular country, definitely it will be an added advantage for you. Job mobility. You can escape one job and you can search for another job if you are a multilingual person. But here, to be a multilingual person, you need to be tolerant, tolerance and respect towards other cultures, other languages, and other things. If I myself feel that my culture is the best culture, that kind of feelings, being a teacher, it should not be there into our minds. That is the needs of multilingualism. Now you see, advantages, needs, both are same. Here the problems we are facing as your disadvantages. Here, what are the actual problems being faced by the teachers? Wherever a Bengali background teacher is speaking in Hindi, definitely his pronunciation, his accent, his way of speaking, maybe sometimes the students, they may not understand whatever the teacher is teaching. This is the real situation actually regarding that pronunciation. Then syntax. Syntax here you see one word, one sentence have been written, Ami bhat khai. Clear no? Here Ami bhat khai. Here you see Ami subject, bhat is object, and khai is verb. But whenever we will translate it into English, at that time we are following SVO formula. Subject, verb, and object. I eat rice. So here sometimes what is happening because of that grammatical sense and that syntax, whatever that rules and regulations are there, whenever we are framing the same sentence from Hindi to English, clear no, there the structure is changing according to the syntax. This is another problem. And the pidgism, इसमें क्या होता है देखिए, frequently changing. Suppose you have started your lesson in English, you are fluently delivering the lessons. In the middle, some students asked you that, sir, what is the meaning in Hindi? You have entered into the Hindi. Some students, maybe he is not that much confident in using Hindi. He may ask you in some other language of which you are not quite confident. Clear? That is, we skip from one language to another language inside the classroom. It also sometimes affects or hampers the teaching learning process. Now we will come to the conclusion. Whatever it may be, it has been widely accepted across the globe that we can never ignore the role of multilingualism inside the classroom. You see, language is the most important medium of communication and education. Its development occupies an important place in the national policy of education and program of action. Government has also felt the need of using multi-language inside the classroom. The one and only way to introduce multilingualism through a formal system of education is to make provisions for the study of several languages in the school curriculum. But it has not yet been included in our curriculum. In most of the schools, we have failed. In addition to that Hindi, English, Sanskrit, we have failed to provide some other foreign language like Russian, Spanish, German. Clear no? If we take that kind of initiative, so definitely the students, they will be benefited. And it will be also an added advantage for your future career building. Now you see here that positive relationship between multilingualism. If I have a feelings that I will never speak in Hindi, that kind of feelings should not be there into our mind, because Hindi has been accepted as a state language, and being a citizen of our country, we must be fluent in Hindi as well as English. Clear no? And moreover, in addition to that, you know your mother tongue. So automatically you are learning 3 languages. That is the use of multi-language, multilingualism in the classroom. Curriculum achievement here you see is increased through such education. Some of the teachers, if they take it in a negative way, so definitely the output will be negative. If we take it in a positive way, that by using multi-languages in the classroom, I will make the teaching learning process quite effective, we can make it. Everything depends upon the teacher. So the ultimate decision is we need to be a multilingual person, as it has a huge scope in the aspects of job. Not only that, it also helps to understand of history and heritage and tradition and cultures and territory, cultures of different communities, different peoples, if we are a multilingual person. So with that, I would like to conclude. So from today onwards, clear no, it's my request that in order to make our teaching learning process quite effective or efficient, we must inculcate, we must inspire the students to, as well as with the teachers, we must initiate to use the multi-language inside our classroom. Thank you. Have a good day.